Thanks for joining us here at Enjoy the View Travel, and welcome to the channel. This week's View on Travel Season 2 starts now. Hey, it's Brittany with Enjoy the View Travel, and you're watching this week's View on Travel. So, major flight delays and cancellations across Europe and the Middle East. Over 1,800 flights have been affected, 650 have been canceled. So, please make sure if you're traveling overseas anytime soon that you are checking with your airlines and making sure that your flights are not majorly delayed or canceled. And then also, you probably want to exercise some extra caution on your trips right now. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those who were impacted by the Air India crash, both on the plane and on the ground. If you are a big fan of Friday the 13th and Jason, then get ready for a horrifying thrill this fall. So here is what you need to know. Universal Studios is debuting the Jason universe, an all-original haunted house inspired by the infamous slasher, launching August 29th in Orlando and September 4th in Hollywood. So guests can explore Jason's chilling origin at a haunted summer camp, complete with eerie lodges, dark forests, and gruesome kill reenactments. So both parks will offer expanded Halloween Horror Nights experiences, ticket bundles, and limited edition Jason Universe merchandise, including a collectible puzzle series. So there are some bundle options available for hotel and park entrance. So reach out to me at enjoytheviewtravel.com for more information. And let's get your horror-filled vacation started today. Well, we have even more Universal news. So Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift will be taking Universal Hollywood by storm in 2026. So this outdoor coaster can reach speeds up to 72 miles per hour, and it makes it the fastest coaster built by Universal Destinations and Experiences. The cars on the coaster also spin at 360 degrees. And I watched a rendering of this that's been released on YouTube, and it looks really awesome. So let me know in the comments below if you are a thrill seeker and if this is a roller coaster you're interested in. There's some really cool news from Uber that is coming out. So if you're traveling to the Amalfi Coast this summer, Uber is launching 2 new options for you to get around: Uber Copter and Uber Boat. So Uber Copter is going to hold up to 6 passengers, and it will pick you up in Sorrento and it will take you to Capri. The ride lasts for about 20 minutes, and the cost is 1,500 euros, which is about a little over $1,700 in US currency. So if the helicopter is full with 6 people, that's about $288 per person. It also includes ground transfer to and from the copter anywhere on the Amalfi Coast. So Uber Boat, we didn't get as much information on, but it's going to offer private 4-hour cruises for up to 12 people. Cost was not listed in the information that I was given, and you will have your own skipper along with snacks and beverages. So both of the Uber services will be available to book on the Uber app anywhere in Italy starting June 25th. However, the services will only be running on Saturdays and Sundays from July 26th to August 24th. Bookings will need to be made at least 48 hours in advance, and it will be limited as well as weather dependent. So don't put all your eggs in one basket if you're thinking of Uber Copter or Uber Boat, because it will be weather dependent. But just some interesting news, and I wonder if this goes over really well on the Amalfi Coast, if Uber will start opening this up in other areas. Is this a service that you would use? I mean, it's quite expensive. It's not obviously, it would be cheaper to do a regular Uber vehicle, but traffic over there is just so awful. So, and it's very, very congested. So, is this something that you would consider doing and doing in other places? Let us know in the comments below. Well, we had some scary moments on Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas. There was a window that cracked and fell to the pool deck below. So as you can see over here in the picture, you can see where the glass is actually falling. They got a picture of that. And then you can see the window that it fell out of. So luckily, one of the waiters happened to notice and hear that the windows started cracking, and he sprinted to the pool deck and warned passengers just in time to get out of the way. So no passengers were injured, thank goodness. It did, however, leave a really big mess. I included a picture of that too. They did have to drain the pool to make sure that there was no debris in the pool. So it was closed for a while, but Royal Caribbean did a really nice job. Their maintenance team quickly got things cleaned up. They got the window replaced. They got the pool drained, cleaned out, refilled, and opened back up. So luckily, nobody was hurt, but it is just a reminder that you do always want to be aware of your surroundings. Because that's just one of those freak things, that happen. It has happened before. I mean, glass breaks, obviously, so you have to kind of, be careful with that. But just a little bit of a scary time there on the seas. So if you like our content, please be sure to click the like, share, and notification bell. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss our latest episode. Also, please comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Well, back at the end of May, we had several ships, including the MSC Seascape, whose mooring ropes broke. Now, this does happen from time to time, but it's really not all that common. Now, the mooring ropes are what keep the ship tied to the pier. So when you're exiting the ship at ports, you will see them, and they're the massive ropes at each end of the ship, and they're tied around these big concrete pillars that come up out of the pier. So you can see in this picture where the rope broke, and the rope is actually hitting the water. That's that spray of water that you see coming up. That's where the rope was hitting the water. If you've seen any of the footage online, you also know it made a super loud snapping noise. So what might have caused this to happen? Actually, high sudden wind gust from a storm that was blowing up into the area, and that is typically what causes this, and that's what caused that in this case. But it was just so interesting that there were quite a few ships that had this issue. Now the Seascape did, as you can see, float away from the pier because of that. So they obviously had some things that they had to do to get the ship back over where it needed to be and tied back up again. So my understanding is that nobody was hurt, and that is a good thing. So I'm glad that nobody was hurt, and everything's turned out okay. But just something interesting in the cruise world. All right, who is ready for the travel deal of the week? Look at that picture. I would totally love to go there. That looks amazing. I hope you're able to catch a video I shared earlier this week on our VIP page. It was about Exuma, Bahamas, and that is where this picture is. I've checked with one of our tour operators, and they do have a variety of resorts available in Exuma, and they do have different price points, ranging anywhere from $541 a night to $1,500 a night. So if you would like to get away to this gorgeous Bahama island, contact me at enjoytheviewtravel.com for more details. Let's wrap up with our travel tip of the week. What day should I fly on? So there's a lot of things that you want to consider. You want to consider the time of day and also the day of the week that you are going to fly. So flying midweek, especially on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, can lead to cheaper flights and shorter lines at the airport. Also, flying early in the morning or late at night can help you avoid crowds. Sometimes, but a lot of times people want those early flights because there's a better chance of no delays or fewer delays. So sometimes flying in the morning, it can still be pretty crowded. So keep that in mind. Of course, weekends and Mondays tend to be the busiest at the airports. So if your schedule allows, being flexible with your travel dates can help you find better deals. And be sure to avoid those peak travel times. That will help also. So I know for most of us, though, when we fly, we're not able to be that flexible. So for example, when we're going on a cruise, we usually fly out the day before the cruise. So that way that we're arriving in the city we're departing from on the cruise the day before, and we don't have to worry about any delays the day of. But that means that we're usually flying on a Friday or Saturday, peak time, right? Also, when we return, it's usually on a Sunday or a Saturday or a Sunday. So, again, peak time. Also, don't be afraid to shop around with different airlines. I know a lot of people tend to be loyal to a particular airline, but don't be afraid to shop around to get the best deal that you can. So as always, if I can help with planning your next trip, please reach out to me at enjoytheviewtravel.com or on the socials. Thank you for watching this week's View on Travel, and until next time, enjoy the view. Thank you for watching this week's View on Travel. Be sure to visit us at enjoytheviewtravel.com. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and notification bell so you don't miss our next episode.